Hey team, today we will be looking at your next tender strategy. We will cover 3 key aspects: the structure, the controls, and the submission document. Let's go. A strong tender methodology does more than describe the work. It shows the client that the delivery team understands the site, the constraints, the sequencing, and the controls needed to complete the project safely and efficiently. Good tender writing should not invent a construction plan. It should explain the real methodology clearly so the client can assess it, understand it, and trust it. The strongest submissions usually bring together 4 key elements. First, site knowledge. This shows what the crew already understands about the location, access, interfaces, and likely constraints. Second, a clear sequence. This explains the order the work will happen and how each stage connects to the next. Third, risk controls. This shows how safety, traffic, pedestrians, stakeholders, services, quality, and program risks will be managed. And finally, a professional finish. The methodology needs to be presented in clear submission-ready wording that gives the client confidence in the team's capability. In simple terms, a good methodology turns practical site knowledge into a clear delivery plan the client can rely on. Most tender methodologies start with rough site notes. That is not a bad thing. In fact, rough notes are often where the real construction knowledge sits. The problem is that rough notes are usually too short, too informal, and not structured enough for a tender submission. For example, a site team might write something like, start at the north end, set up the TMP, saw cut the footpath, remove concrete, install drainage, prepare the base course, pour concrete, tidy up, and reopen to the public. That is useful information, but it needs to be turned into client-ready wording. A stronger tender version explains the same work in a more controlled and professional way. It confirms where the works will start, that the TMP will be approved and implemented, that the work area will be isolated, that pedestrian access will be maintained, and that adjacent stakeholders will be notified before works commence. This makes the methodology much easier for the client to assess. The goal is not to make the work sound complicated. The goal is to take practical site knowledge and present it clearly, professionally, and with enough detail to build confidence. A good tender methodology needs structure. Without structure, the methodology can become hard to follow, even when the actual construction approach is sound. A simple 5-part structure helps keep the submission controlled, readable, and easy for the client to score. Start with the objective. This explains what the works are trying to achieve and gives the client a clear starting point. Next is the sequence. This sets out the order the works will be delivered from pre-start through to construction and closeout. Then include the controls. This is where you explain how safety, traffic, quality, and environmental requirements will be managed. After that, identify the key risks. These are the main constraints, interfaces, or issues that could affect delivery, along with how they will be managed. Finally, finish with handover. This should cover testing, defects, records, as-built, and closeout requirements. Using this structure keeps the methodology focused and helps the client see that the team has thought through the full delivery process. The methodology should be written in the same order the work will actually happen on site. This makes the submission easier to follow and gives the client confidence that the delivery team understands the practical sequence. Start with the pre-start phase. This includes approvals, permits, notifications, inspections, and any other requirements that need to be completed before physical works begin. Next is the site setup. This covers the TMP, site establishment, access arrangements, protection of existing assets, and controls for pedestrians, traffic, and nearby stakeholders. Then move into the construction phase. This is where the main physical works are described, including demolition, excavation, drainage, services, pavement works, concrete works, or any other key activities. After construction, explain how the works will be checked. This includes ITPs, hold points, QA records, inspections, testing, and any required approvals. Finally, close the work out properly. This includes defect checks, cleaning, as-built information, final records, and handover. When the methodology follows the real delivery sequence, it becomes easier to understand, easier to score, and more convincing as a construction plan. Tender assessors are not just looking for a description of the work, They also want to see that the contractor understands the controls needed to deliver the work safely, efficiently, and with minimal disruption. The first control area is safety. This should include inductions, SWMS or JSA requirements, plant and pedestrian separation, exclusion zones, and general site safety controls. The second area is traffic. This should cover the approved TMP, staging, vehicle access, pedestrian management, and how disruption will be managed. The third area is quality. This is where ITPs, hold points, testing, supplier checks, inspections, and compliance records should be explained. The fourth area is environmental management. This may include erosion and sediment controls, dust, noise, waste handling, spill response, and protection of existing site conditions. The fifth area is stakeholder management. This should explain notifications, access planning, complaints management, and how impacts on neighbours, businesses, or the public will be considered. Including these controls shows the client that the methodology is not just a construction sequence, it is a controlled delivery plan. A strong methodology should not stop at construction. It should also explain how the work will be checked, documented, and handed over. This is important because clients want confidence that the project will finish cleanly, not just physically. The first step is testing. Any required test results should be completed, recorded, reviewed, and submitted as part of the closeout process. Next, defects need to be checked. Any issues should be recorded, tracked, and closed out before the area is handed over. As-built records are also important. This may include marked up drawings, survey information, asset records, photographs, and any documentation required by the client or asset owner. Finally, the area needs to be reopened safely. This includes the final clean, removal of temporary barriers, reinstatement of access, and confirmation that the area is safe for public use. Good handover wording gives the client confidence that the contractor has thought beyond construction and understands the full closeout process. Do you need help with your project documents? Project Delivery Specialist provides practical support for tender documents, methodologies, management plans, RFIs, early warnings, and project controls. The aim is simple: to help project teams turn rough information into clear, professional, client-ready documents. If you work in civil construction and want practical help with project documentation, subscribe for more project delivery tips. In the next video, we will look at how to structure a simple construction program narrative. Thanks for watching.